These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it. These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
Hello everybody and welcome on into the Aurora Overwatch Clash Week 2 Season 5 matchup between the Farmington Fishermen 2 and the Lunar Colony Lumalees. For now, it is just going to be me over here on the production and the cast for just a little bit longer here till Panini's game finishes up on the other side. But we'll be going right on into our first map, which is going to be Antarctic Peninsula. And, you know, both these teams, very different beginnings to their seasons. You had the Farmington Fishermen, had a bit of a rough start. We'll see if the teams are on the right sides here. It appears they're not, so we'll go ahead and flip those sides real quick. And also shorten the name Farmington Fishermen. But Farmington Fishermen, of course, getting swept by the Shanghai Saori. A very strong team, so really nothing to worry about if you're a Farmington Fisherman. But for the Lunar Colony Lumalees, taking it to the Alligatos, very strong, very decisive win in their sweep. So both these teams on opposite sides of the spectrum, ready to show off their worth, ready to see that both those are, well, one team wants to show that it wasn't the correct result. The other team wants to show that wasn't a fluke. Of course, the swap, or the trade here as well for the Lunar Colony Lumalees, swapping Paige over for, who did they trade for? They trade for Simply Dyna. It looks like they won't be in on this map, sticking with their kind of roster from the last game. Farmington Fishermen gonna come out here on the Orisa. Pretty common look nowadays. I'll go ahead and raise the sound for you guys, but we have a soft play here from Firecart. Looks to gain some pressure. Forces out Yoda fall pretty low, but the jab does force Firecarter away for now. Right now, both teams are poking and prodding, exchanging cooldowns. Invictus uses the slate up on the high ground. Drops over onto point, but that's where Floss waiting for him down there. Invictus has to reload. Can't quite hit the shot. And two quick kills for the Lumalees. Exchanged for Firecarter. But that might not be enough. As trying to stay alive as long as I possibly can here, as Nathan finds another, building very quickly towards that blade. That'll be a very decisive first fight victory here for the Lumalees here on Antarctic Peninsula. Yoda swaps over here onto the Junker Queen. Centurion will match the Genji. So wholesale swaps here now for Farmington Fisherman. Get off that Venture, get off that Orisa. See how it goes for him right now. Really neither team too close to any ultimates. I also want to see if you guys actually have game audio. Yes, it looks like you do. Sorry, a lot of hats being worn right now. But going through, Kathect has used the amp early as well as the shout. So a lot of cooldowns invested here. Nathan sees it as an advantage, goes on here with a dash. A big axe will cleave on through multiple members, but Firecarter staying strong on point for now. The Tracer battle in the backline. Frosty flying low and meets Gracie to the face. And with that gone, it's going to be very tough here. A big beat comes down from EJ. The pulse bomb from Floss not quite as big. And Firecarter with his Primal Rage putting in some work. Looks like it'll be enough. As Farmington Fishermen are forced to retreat yet again here. Towards their spawn, they might get staggered here. It looks like they will get out with their lives. And they'll do just that. But as of right now, a lot of ults being thrown in there for the Lumalees, but they're going to take home that first fight, or the second fight victory, and get themselves basically to match point here, or I should say point on Antarctic Peninsula. They have the blade here from Nathan still. Probably looking to see if Gracie gets used to potentially force a beat. As Frosty has a Casino Rush as well as high ground, be very tough to break. Yoda is 20% towards this Rampage, goes on in, forces Nathan to back away for now. The Casino Rush from Corey in response to Frosty's gonna be enough. Here comes the blade here from Nathan. They'll force out Wraith, and Invictus goes down first. Susan from Corey keeps himself alive for just a couple more seconds, but Nathan, the blade rings true, and Yoda has the Rampage, but can't use it before the clock strikes 0 on his life. Kathect, not long for this world either. Centurion trying to get with the Wraith, but probably not going to be too much longer here. As 100-0, the way of the Lumalees looking very strong so far in our first map, our first point of Antarctic Peninsula.
0-1.
It's going to be tough to come up with an answer for stuff like that when they're playing that well.
Ready for battle.
Also, by the way, we'll go over here and do that. Anyway, hopefully everybody's having a good night so far. Of course, right now it is just me on the solo cast. I apologize for that. Paninii will hopefully be joining me here soon. Once the San Antonio Stinkers and the Belfast Bunker Brigade finishes up, it was 2-1 when I left. They're probably going into a fourth map, potentially even a fifth. Who really knows what's going on over there? But Firecarter only swap really onto the Orisa. Centurion onto the Symmetra, pies the TP out and switch back over onto the Reaper. So the same comp they ended with for the Farmington Fishermen. Didn't find the results they wanted to last time, but could be different here. A nice jab, though, will land a Kathect, force it Lucio away for just a couple seconds. Flawless onto the Soldier, and will have to slide away for now. But both teams just playing pretty slowly, but the Orisa taking the space, dominating with their cooldowns, and still has them ready to go. Another jab will land. Force them away, and Invictus does have charge here on the railgun. Can't quite land that. And right now, it appears the big advantage on point will go the way of the Lumalees, as Firecarter, strong on point with a Fortify, falls low, and Yoda first to fall. It's going to be exchange on tanks, but Kathect down as well. Nathan cleans up the kill feed, going for a third here, it appears. Corey trying to get with his life. Is like 1 HP, but looks like he will survive. But Nathan cleans up these remaining members of the Farmington Fishermen. Corey not long for this world, has a TP with the Suzu, and will get out in time. Yoda there for the assist. And still very dominating fashion here for Lumalees, as Yoda trying to do anything here on the Junker Queen. Finding it pretty rough to walk in onto this Orisa. Firecarter just saving his javelin, saving the spin for any aggression here from Yoda. Just as you say, that goes in. And Victor's on the offensive, can't quite land the shot to fit the kill. But the Casino Rush will force a lot of space here. Suzu comes out from Frosty, came alive. Will have the response here with the Casino Rush. So they decide to use it. The point might flip here. It will go the way of Farmington Fishermen. The first percentage here of the match. But Frosty has the Casino Rush to walk on in. Invictus with the overclock. Trying to find anything here with these shots. The beats and the blade. A lot of ults being thrown in here for the Lumalees, but it looks like it'll be enough. Nathan finds no kills, but finds a space with the blade. And the follow-up will come on through. Fire Carter trying to do anything here, but it looks like Ambitious will get out with their lives. Flawless can't quite land the shot either. And the Lumalees look unstoppable right now in this competition. They have a couple ults ready in the bank. Fishman close to building up theirs. Centurion will have to do something with his Death Blossom. Overclock from Flawless. Forced out the shot from Yoda, and looks like the retreat is called from Farmington Fishman. Invictus on this off angle. Trying to land the shot, trying to find the headshot on a Flawless. Will get the body shot, but not nearly enough. As Fishman trying to find an answer here. Centurion does TP on in, but Fire Carter has that Terror Surge, and Cathect falls where they can build that beat. And now, the Rampage Centurion falls. Can't even pop the Death Blossom. If there's anybody that can touch, it's going to be Yoda, but the spin from Fire Carter will stop the Dark Reaper from getting that touch. And a very dominant map victory for the Lumalees as they go 1-0 in the series.
Play of the game. Time for the reckoning.
Not exactly how you want to start there if you are the Farmington Fishermen, especially coming off your last match, which was tough. You come off playing probably the best team in the league right off the bat in the Shanghai Saoris, or especially definitely one of the new better players, the rookie coming in, being Neptune. And I got to come against the Lumalees, who also look to be the strongest team as well. Strongest kind of all-around roster, especially after these trades, looking very good. Looks like this team kind of played together for a long time. I mean, the new player wasn't in just yet, but still, regardless, looking very flexible on whatever they decide to play. We will go to a short break. Do not go anywhere. Aurora Overwatch class continues after this.
These beats are the purest.
And welcome on back to the Aurora Overwatch Clash, Season 5, Week 2 matchup between the Lunar calling the Lumalees and the Farmington Fishermen 2 Electric Boogaloo. Lunar calling the Lumalees having their way on Antarctic Peninsula, looking very strong.
Ready for battle.
Hello. Now what in tarnation is going on? Who knows? Broke for a second, but we're back. We're so back. Looking at both these teams here, Firecard stick on that Winston looked very good last time. Yoda sticking on the Sarisa, trying to make it work here. Struggled in the last map. Let's see if it's any better for him. It appears they flip sides yet again on me. I didn't notice that. Go and flip those there. There we go. Wait, I was right. We'll flip him after this fight. And Vince on this Ashe. Again, dived here onto Fire Carter. And Nathan on the Genji. Trempless Pushover on this Ashe. Also, Corey on the Baptiste. A little different here. Oh, Fire Carter falls so low. Nathan first to punish. Fire Carter falls low. Fire Carter, though, will survive. Immortality Field is a little too late there from Corey. Flawless forced to use the recall. Right now, both teams playing pretty slow. But Flawless has his angle around a Cathect. Cathect flies up Centurion, though, from the safety of the sky. Bubble broken pretty earlier from Fire Carter, but the dive again over onto Corey. Corey is the prime target. Does have Immortality Field, but is broken almost immediately. Another ground forward gameplay from Centurion. Finds Flawless. Forces the Tracer to retreat for now. Another ball from Fire Carter. Keeps the team nice and healthy. It's a very slow, methodical play from the Lumalees and the Farmington Fishermen alike. Trying to find any small advantage, and there's their advantage right there. We're going to exchange a Centurion with that barrage. Looks like it will finally be enough as Yoda finishes off with the Terror Surge, and there you have it. Finally, the fight going the way of the Farmington Fishermen. They are going to hold, and the time bank did dwindle quite a bit there. And now we gotta flip these teams yet again. We'll... There we go. Bob coming up pretty close here, but Corey with that window on the point will stop them going 2-4-4 to a Dynamite. Not gonna land any ticks on the opposing members. Centurion trying to demand some attention in the sky. Flawless on this flank. Looking with some pressure over onto Corey. And Invictus does get found. Did use that coach gun. But Corey instead's the one to fall. The Bob from Invictus from the grave does make point pretty tough to crack here as Corey gets resurrected back in the fight, so it is a 5-on-5. Bob gets booped off the point, but it's still a very even battle. Corey will finally fall to the blade of Nathan as the scrappiness of the Farmington Fishermen not allowing this to break will finally falter with about a minute left in the time bank. A very solid hold for Farmington as Lumalees will finally break through. Took a lot of ults to get there. Well, you'll take the any day of the week. Now, Centurion close to benefit this barrage. Really no counter to that. Frosty has to hit a nicely timed Suzu to stop that barrage bringing too much value. Flawless might be able to open things up with a pulse bomb, but Invictus now switch over on the Cassidy. A lot less of a dive target now with the Hinder Grenade over the Ashe. Looks like the choke has been kind of gained here for the Lumalees as Yoda playing the high ground, opting not to play that choke for now. Also, Flawless off the Tracer forgoes the Pulse Bomb and switches onto a Cassidy of their own. You see Yoda flying low, but has the Fortify, say nothing healthy. He also has the Beam from Cathect. Bubble is used from Fire Carter, but gets jabbed in the alleyway. They're all very low in there. The default from Nathan, though, stops the barrage bringing too much value as Flawless will find the kill. Corey on the high ground and Cathect. The old heads trying to keep each other alive, but they don't seem long for this world, especially with Cathect going down. The Suzu and the Deflex have been too much for the to overcome with the barrage. And that's going to be point B taken in fairly quick fashion. See if I can't check the score of the other game to get yourselves guys an update on that one. It is still 2-1. It is 3-3 in overtime on that game on Circuit Royale. But back to the game at hand. Centurion's going to get resurrected here. Primal Rage from Firecarder. He sees a lot of juicy members of the... Oh, they cannot sustain Firecarder through the pressure. And despite the Casino Rush coming out from Frosty, they cannot kill his final members. They're all so weak in there. You know, Firecarder's looking at potentially launching that Primal Rage, but not for naught. Look at 4 ults against 3. An early window off from Corey. A lot of pressure on the Firecarder. Corner is being held for now. Yoda pushes through that with the help of the spin. Window will expire. Corey back up on his high ground. Firecarder jumps on in. Nathan has the blade. Probably trying to force out that the immortality field first. And Bitch with the high noon puts on a lot of pressure on the support line. The dasher from Nathan with the blade. But nobody's close enough for that. The immortality field as well as the Valkyrie. Too much pressure for the Genji. And now Firecarder, Primal Rage expired. Trying to get back to help the team, but sent back to spawn instead by Corey. The Mega for Flawless is there. We'll get it. Yoda will not fall. And now the Cassie will have trouble crossing this path. Has the roll, has the speed, but Centurion is there. Didn't quite have the skies. A lot of ults being used there, though, by the Farmington Fishermen on the defense, but they have dwindled this time back down quite a bit, down to about 2 minutes and a half. They will have high noon. Casino Rush should potentially open this up, but walk it into a barrage yet to get from Centurion. The Suzu was huge from Frosty last time, stopped that barrage, bringing too much value. We'll see if Centurion wastes that cooldown out this time. High noon out from Flawless early. Frosty falling low, though. They had to play very slow. Yoda has the spin. Flawless takes the shot. Yoda gets pushed into a small room, and not long for that. Where the Suzu and Deflect are gone. Centurion sees it as a go button. They use the Resurrect. It's not going to land, but only 1 kill from the barrage. And Flawless lights up the kill feed on the Cassidy. The Peacemaker finding heads. As Lumalees find a completion on King's Row with just under 2 minutes to go.
Score 0-3. Switch.
Bit of an update. Belfast Bug Brigade are pushing in their OT. They got to the end of point B on Circuit Royale. They are looking for a reverse sweep. They are currently down 2-1 against San Antonio Stinkers on our main page, Aurora Esports MN, being produced and casted by Paninii over there. But in terms of this match, if you are the Farmington Fisherman, you will take that. About 2 minutes left in the time bank. You have yourself a preset win condition. Well, a draw condition. Just get towards the end of the map here. And with how good your attack or your defense on A was, we could see a very similar attack style. Yoda, Firecarder going to forego the Winston this time to start on the Orisa for the defense. Nathan off the Genji over onto the Tracer. Not really something we see him play very often. We know that Nathan's more of that projectile kind of player. Plays the Hanzo, plays the Genji very well. Shimada brothers. Haven't really seen his Tracer all too often, but knowing Nathan's probably pretty damn good. Flawless taking over on this Cassie Centurion. I'm guessing this Widowmaker is probably not long for this world. Potentially a pock shot at the beginning, trying to get some scouting in. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. There we go. Centurion spiced out the Tracer in Hotel. And, I mean, somehow the UI hasn't updated yet. So Centurion, despite being Torbjorn, is in fact Widowmaker in the bottom left. Ain't that neat? Cathect over onto the Brigitte here. Very interesting selection. Especially with the aggressive, style you want to play with this Orisa. Deciding to play opt for more of a spam look with the Torbjorn, with the Brigitte. More slow play, methodical pushes. Nathan trying to get those angles of recall is forced. Turret taken on down. Cathect does spot out the Tracer, trying to get back to help with the team. Invictus does fall pretty low here. Has to get healed up really before anything can happen. Firecarder 75% towards his Terra Surge. And both teams again plays extremely slow. But Lumalees will take this any day of the week. The time bank continues to dwindle, and no point progress or even pressure is being garnered right now for Farmington. A window out from Corey. Might force them to back away for just a couple seconds, but Farcarter, no fear, runs on in with the Emertide field getting taken down. It's a fairly favorable exchange for the Belfast Bunker Brigade, but they have Riley, they have both supports as well as Yoda alive. They're going to walk in here, potentially punish out these remaining people. Floss with the high noon is not long for that world in the hotel. Asked to check out early. And Farmington might just capture point A here. I don't know if Floss will spawn. They might get in touch with 4 members. Being the Lumalees, they might be going for this. Yes, they are going to walk in. They have the pulse one from Nathan. Chucks it over on the ground. Not going to find anything. Hiding from Victus as well. Finds EJ. EJ killed through the beat. Casino Rush on point. This might be a disastrous touch here for the Lumalees. Investing 4 ultimates and getting nothing out of that. You're going to get the High Noon and the Terror Surge out from Farmington, but a very heavy investment for a not very good return on that defense. And now 4 minutes 20 seconds in the bank. You see Centurion having fun over on cart. Definitely playing the game for sure. And no ultimates really for any team except for Centurion's Molten Core coming up. Nathan swapping out the Tracer onto the Genji, and Flawless as well onto that Sojourn. Trying to outrange Invictus on the Cassie, it appears, foregoing the Hinder Grenade. Hinder Grenade not find anything, but the Molten Core out from Centurion. A lot of pressure on the Flawless as well. Forces quite the split. They do notice Firecarter alone in the alleyway, and the horse might have sent the glue factory. As Firecarter taken down, so with that Orisa gone, it's going to be very tough for Lumalees to put up a good defense here. Frosty will TP out to the team and stay alive. We're working towards the end of B here, and now Corey used that window to dissuade any last-second contesting from the Lumalees, and Farmington looking clean so far in this attack. 4 minutes in the bank. Nathan will get a touch here with a dash, but falls very weak. Somehow will get healed up with the help of Frosty, throwing in those cards, and Cathectus want to get punished instead. With the Brigade going down. So 1 for 1, but Brigade is a much higher value, especially with Nathan coming back on the quick spawns from the defense from the position. Hinder Grenade out from Invictus does land. Frosty has a Casino Rush to the side to invest it here. It looks like they will use a Suzu, but Firecarter is the first to use the Terror Surge and get the kill. Casino Rush is well invested. Invictus in a rough position over an alleyway. Will exchange for 1 with a DPS. We trade out. EJ does go very aggressive over onto Corey and will get punished now. Here comes Cathec back with the rally, pushing back the Lumalees. As Flambo Jembo would say, this is Girtham Tuna just walking forward here. The TP from Frosty knocking him alive. And now Nathan might get staggered here if they're not careful. Nathan build towards that dash. Looks like they will get it as well as the Mega. Oh, but gets bashed back in. Nathan's in a rough position here. And gets punished. And now, almost 4 minutes in the time bank for the Farmington Fishermen. And Invictus opens it up with a kill run to Flawless. The only ultimate on the field for the Lumalees taken down before the fighting really begins. And now Invictus has full control of the high ground right now. They know where he is. EJ going up for it right now. Put a little pressure on him. EJ has the beat, but cannot fall here. Especially trying to take down Invictus. Invictus has the sights over on to the side. Nathan with the deflect. Here you go. Flawless with the overclock. Tries to get space away back. That's guarded by the window from Corey. But Firecarter falls before EJ can use the beat. They reset down. Yoda with the Terror Surge. Desperation Blade out from Nathan, but just forced to deflect for now. Invictus gets away, but they don't touch the cart. And over 1 minute advantage right now for the Farmington Fishermen on King's Row. And it looks like they have an answer now for the Lumalees composition.
Initiating match.
And I believe it has gone to map 5 for San Antonio Stickers and Belfast Bunker Brigade. Bunker Brigade hoping to pull off the first reverse sweep of the season against the Stinkers after a rough start to that series. But speaking of rough starts, once again, the Lumalees are on attack, and they had trouble breaking through point A. Once they got to point B and C, it looked like pretty easy work. But they appear to have some trouble breaking through. And Centurion having a spectator glitch here. He has a gun out with the hammer. Put that gun away. I don't know why I'm getting all the spectator glitches on my. Pretty fun though, especially with it's only Centurion too, because he had the Widowmaker glitch earlier. Now he has the gun and hammer glitch. Cool beans. But same comp for the Farmington Fishermen. Liked what they saw on the attack as well as the defense last time. The swap here though is flawless onto the Echo, pulling our pressure out of Centurion's turret.
Attackers incoming.
But be able to Invictus shut that down on the Cassidy. Okay, cool. Right click there. They do spot out the Genji. Flaw still on this Echo. I don't believe they've been seen just yet. They are going to get that. Sticky nades go on in, but Yoda going very aggressive here. Forced use all his cooldowns and forced retreat. Farcar now has control of the space. The car blocking the jab. Farcar does fall pretty low though. So space will be recontested here by Yoda, taken back. Jab not gonna land, but flawless. Trying to chuck down these sticky grenades down main. Get anybody close to half for any use of that focusing beam. But nothing coming of any of these right now. Hinder grenade will force the Echo down on the floor, as well as the Suzu comes out. They kill it to Planet Centurion's turret. Opens up on a kick on EJ. It's a 2 for 2. Centurion's turret has found 2 in this fight. Nathan is behind him. They do realize he's there. Has a deflect as well as a dash to get away. Still very even on point. Fire Carter jabbed into a corner. Kusina rush though from Frosty might open this up here for the attackers. Window from Corey in exchange. Very even battle. It's a 5-on-5, but Invictus takes the head clean off Frosty. The Peacemaker through the window. Hinder grenade comes on in, but flawless. We'll get one with the secret grenades. Yoda trying to do anything with the terror search on point, falling very low, but Yoda has found 2. Doesn't need any help, and Buns Bronson left the game. He's seen enough. Frosty falls low. Flawless trying to do anything here. It's the DPS trying to clutch up here for the side of the Lumalees. It could be doable here. Nathan with a blade, but Yoda just spins him back to spawn. And now EJ. Fire Carter just comes on into the Doomfist and lands right into the Molten Core. A celebratory rally from Kathek. This could be a full hold. No ticks garnered. The best the Lumalees can hope for is a draw.
Score 3-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Give myself some water. A little bit of a hydration break needed there. But now if you are the... Damn. Buns had to go. Unfortunate. Here's the Farmington Fishermen. Down to the remaining 5 here on the roster. We'll have to run this one the whole time. And they're sticking with the Torbjorn here. Only having the gun out this time. No, or only the hammer. No gun and hammer, but... Same composition on the defense. Actually, Nathan swaps over onto the Reaper off the Genji. Potentially looking for a little more pressure in the front line against the Orisa. As Yoda just seems to just be walking forward. No fear in his eyes. With the Fortify, with the spin. And doing some work. Nathan sneaking around through Hotel. Looking to get an early scout potentially, but looking to give any information to their side.
5, 4.
It's going to come down to basically which team can build some ultimates first here. Especially if Kathek can get that rally online. You have 3 minutes in the time bank. You could just play for a big ult fight, especially since you only need 1 tick to win the map. And serve the Lumalees their first map loss of the season, only week 2, but they looked very strong in their first showing. Look like one of the teams that might not drop a map the entire series, or the entire season, you know. The Invictus on the off angle. Hinder grenade will land, but on the Fire Carter. You know, the most mobile character in the game, the Orisa. Will shut down that mobility cooldowns. Fire Carter gets double dinked. And forced into a really awkward position, but Yoda's the first to fall instead. As Flawless has found the off angle to get the kills, and Nathan walks in with those Reaper Hellfire shotguns. Finds 2. And will get out with their lives. As Corey tries to jump away for as long as possibly can. The ults are building up quickly for Farmington, but same can be said here for Lumalees, as Frosty almost has a Casino Rush online. Could shut down any aggression here and potentially get down to last fight territory here for Lumalees. They take the fight early. A lot of people falling very low here. Frosty forced to use a Casino Rush. Now here comes the aggression, the Immortality field out from Corey. will stop that Casino Rush from getting too much value. Instead, the Peel just walk away from the Casino Rush. Once that fades away, Farmington Fishermen will re-engage with their own window. Casino Rush is down. High Noon out from Flawless over onto point. Critical HP. Has some LOS. They don't quite know where he is. They're playing their sight lines, but it looks like it will expire. As the ults come out, the beat from EJ. It doesn't save Nathan, though. Nathan had the Death Blossom. And now Kathak walks forward with that rally. And with Firecarder going down, then might as well just do it. The Farmington Fishermen continue to move forward here. EJ saved by the Suzu. But Centurion's turret yet again. The 6th man comes up huge, and Farmington Fishermen take the first map off the Lumalees' entire season. And look pretty damn strong doing so. And AMC's at 1-1. Flawless with this play of the game. Clicking heads and finding the shots. And now it's an even series here. The Lumalees kind of on the back foot for the first time this whole season. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Overwatch Clash continues after this short break.
These beats are the purest.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 5 Week 2 matchup between the Lunar Colony Lumalees and the Farmington Fishermen 2 Electric Boogaloo. We will be heading into our third map, which is going to be Esperanza. Very heavily favors kind of the dive look that we've seen quite a bit coming out from the Lumalees, especially with Nathan going back over onto tank. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Winston come out here. But it's also in Yoda's wheelhouse, kind of a main tank player in Overwatch 1. But looks like he'll stick with this Orisa. I mean, Orisa has been doing very good so far for Farmington. Been able to put a lot of pressure onto the DPS, especially, and supports. Speaking of DPS and tank, they're going to swap Nathan and Firecarder those two roles. As Simply Dino comes in to play the Mercy, we'll get that pocket over onto Firecarder. So Invictus, a much more difficult time to deal with that Echo in the sky. And Centurion sticking with the Torbjorn, the 6th man, coming in handy here on King's Row especially. They look like they don't have too many answers for this. This is Farmington going to run with what was working on the last map, especially with keeping this Brigitte here. I question the look, not having Lucia to play with the Orisa, but Cat's been doing a really good job keeping the team alive. Nathan going to jump on in, try to force out any cooldowns as possibly can. Here's a spot out the entire team. It does hit a nice jab on a Flawless as he falls down through the sky. Nathan playing the trajectory of Esperanza, playing the map geometry. Will slide on in to the enemy team, but forced to retreat for now. Both teams not want to be the first to die, so they're going to play very far away from each other, but Prince Yoda might have found the opening he's looking for. Does take some space for some cooldowns. We'll go back towards the bot. Right now, Flawless trying to get towards any semblance of energy here. 0.95 meter lead here. Almost insurmountable for Farmington. But Invictus is the first to find a pick as Simply Dino is down. And with that Mercy gone, they're going to walk forward here, being Farmington Fisherman. Immortality Field from Corey is well placed and keeps Invictus alive through all this pressure. Far Carter is very low in the back end, but will get out, it appears. Yoda gives up the chase just before Fire Carter gets that Mega. Flawless swaps on to the Tracer. They're gonna keep this. They're gonna keep the Mercy to try to keep Fire Carter alive in the skies here. Centurion, 40% toward the ultimate is playing the game for sure. Really nothing in terms of ults for either side. Corey has the window quickly to use. They decide to claim this high ground for their own. Invictus sniffs out Flawless on the off angle, and here comes the window off from Corey. Nathan melted through that pressure. And Centurion was moving the cart the entire time as well. Fire Carter falling low. Does have a duplicate though over on the Orisa. Centurion wins the battle against Frosty on point, however, so will continue to move in favor of the Fisherman. Fire Carter loses out on the duplicate, and Corey snipes him out the sky with the Baptiste left clicks, and that's a very quick checkpoint guard for Farmington Fisherman. They are coming in hot right now. Flawless is in the backline, but it looks like he will survive for just a couple more seconds, but they know he's there. And the bot moves past checkpoint. Nathan looks to be sent for a dive on the high ground. Knows Invictus is kind of up there alone right now. Corey returns to rejoin his Cassidy. High noon. Flawless falls very low. Corey battered and bruised in the corner, but stays alive. The peel from his Orisa and the rally is simply too much for Nathan to break through with the primal. Eventually will get the kill. The jab lands, and Fire Carter cleans up the kill feed a double with the focusing beam. Cast is dying on point for now. Fire Carter, give him the ace. Fire Carter with the 5. But 74 meters. Really good start here for Farmington. As now this is a keep away. If you are the Lumalees though, you did win that fight just only using the Primal Rage. So very good ult economy coming forward here to bring this back in your favor. As well as them using High Noon and Rally that fight. So very good exchange for the Lumalees. But they're just going to claim this high ground right back. Beating the Fisherman. Molten Core ready to drop on down. Casino Rush comes out here from Frosty. Nathan stuck in a corner though. Duplicate and Pulse Bomb both exchanged. A lot of ults being thrown from either side, but the Lumalees coming out on top in almost every single battle here occurring on the battlefield. So 3 splits and 3 victories. No one falls for a side of the Lumalees as the Fishermen are sent back yet again. We'll see if there's any adaptations coming out from them. If they're going to stick with what they have. Appears no changes are coming through for now. They're going to stick with this. Centurion still has the Molten Core ready to go. But Fire Carter are doing a lot better job this map of shutting down the Torbjorn value. Victus finds that headshot, but Fire Carter has the Mercy Beam to keep him nice and healthy. We'll see if Yoda decides to touch before the checkpoint. Yes, they will. Simply Dino able to get out with their life, especially with the help of this Valkyrie. Window up from Corey. Immortality Field is forcing Corey falling super low. Corey will fall. Both supports for the Fisherman taken out of this fight as Invictus has his off angle, but really nothing to be said. The bot has though been stolen by Yoda. He's just chilling over here. Tries to take down Fire Carter if he possibly can. Fire Carter very weak, but not weak enough. Simply Dino falls, and now it's a 4-on-3 in favor of the Fisherman. Nathan trying to maintain this space for now, but it is looking pretty rough for them to try to take the checkpoint back. Such a Fire Carter going down there.
We need to rescue the robot.
Full retreat being sounded. And a bit of an update on our teams. It appears that the San Antonio Stinkers and the Velvet Brigade has gone the full distance. It is currently going to go to 0.5 of Map 5 on Flashpoint to decide a victor, unless a miracle happens. They'll have it open on their screen and give you any updates if anything crazy happens. We're going up here. Nathan jumps over onto Corey, tries to force back that Baptiste. Nathan does have Primal Rage though. A lot of pressure being thrown onto Invictus, but the Immortality Field comes in. Kathek has that rally as well. Firecarter duplicates the Orisa. Tries to build a free Terror Surge. Well, the Moan Core from Centurion will force him back away for now. Farmington Fisherman's doing a good job trying to keep arms length. Frosty has a Casino Rush though. Put some pressure on the bot. Nathan forced retreat to save his life. Yoda with a Terror Surge. Susan comes out. The damage does still come through from Yoda's Terror Surge. Nathan falls very low here. Nathan cannot sustain through the pressure. As Invictus is just the Peacemaker finding some damage here on the high ground. Taking names, and now Flawless going down. These staggers could be devastating here, especially with... Does Frosty have a TP target out? Does not. Invictus finds both supports, and Farmington will get a few more meters on the board. And yes, it has gone to 0.5 of map 5 for San Antonio versus Belfast Bunker Brigade. That game going the complete distance. Speaking of this game, both just two support alts on the field for the entire game right now. The Valkyrie versus the Window. You gotta favor the Window here, especially just to force out Nathan's dive. Flawless. Trying to build towards his pulse mode. Kathek falling very low here. The Hinder Grenade, though, as well as the Bash, will stop Flawless from getting away. Now Farmington continues to move forward. They're going to use this window, and Nathan cannot survive through the pressure. Simply Dino falling to 1 HP. Simply Dino looks like she cannot get away as they fall. Firecarter does have a duplicate, but they're walking into a rally, into a high noon, and over 100 meters. They've doubled the progress here on the bot. Now Farmington Fishermen appear to have been forged in the fires of hell, which was the Shanghai Seoris. They're like, the Lumalees are nothing compared to Shanghai. They appear to be having no problem putting these guys down so far. See if that continues. Nathan closest Primal Rage here, puts pressure over onto Kathek, but Invictus with the high noon finds Frosty. Takes them down. Nathan trying to do something with his Primal Rage, gets Corey into a corner, but falling very low. Force retreat. Looks like they will get to the 1 HP. The duplicate from Firecarter taken down as quickly as he landed. And gone. The bot continues to move. Frosty gets booted back into a Mad Grenade. And Frosty again first to fall. Terror Surge from Yoda on the point. Forces out the TP. Forces him into a really awkward position. Nathan forced into a small room. 1 HP. Make it 0. Floss tries to duplicate, but he's inside the middle of his own core. Very rough position here. Simply Donna gets jabbed into a corner. She has a TP up, but they cannot last much longer. Taking down Frosty. 1 HP. Make that 0 again. The Torp turret coming up here for Centurion. The blade out from Floss trying to do something, but Invictus shuts that down through the window. Core's winners have been immaculate so far in this series. And Frosty with a last second touch. Simply Down TP's in as well, but not long for this world. That's going to be a full cap on push. As the Fishermen take a second map off the Lumalees and go to match points. Incredible stuff from them so far. Taking that first map, loss on the jaw it appears, and just going crazy. Taking it the entire distance on that one. Full completing the push map. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Well, actually, I'll give a quick... before we go to a break, a quick update on the other side. If Paninii updates the scores. Not sure who won. It's still 2-2 on their score. So we'll give an update on their size break. Don't go anywhere. Overwatch class continues after this. And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Week 2 matchup between the Farmington Fishermen and the Lunar Colony of Lumalees. Not much of a break, as we're going right back in here onto Watch Point Gibraltar. the map selection of the Lumalees, as they are down 2-1, and it appears their dive really didn't have an answer for the Farmington Fisherman's brawl style. With Yoda on the Orisa, gonna stick to that, and no swaps from the Lumalees, sticking with that comp that they ran last map to see what happens. But honestly, the MVP has been Centurion on this turret turret. It's just been putting a lot of pressure and stopping the aggressive dives from Nathan and Flawless, and you know, he's not putting much in the kill feed, but it's just the constant pressure of the turret turret. But we're seeing, now we don't see it very often, we're seeing a prime and Vintage performance here on the Cassidy. He is putting in some work on the Cowboy right now, and Corey on that Baptiste, able to play one of his signature supports here for the Farmington Fisherman. I know he wanted to build a team where he could play support mostly, so finally getting his wish. It looks like it might be coming to fruition here, saying the Lumalees, one of the top-rated teams in our power rankings, to the brink here at match point on Watch Point Gibraltar. Yoda claiming control of this high ground. The jab and the spin will force Nathan and Fire Carter away, but the bot continues to move forward right down towards that underpass. Jump on in here from Nathan on the blue box. Does get forced away, but does create a bit of space, a bit of chaos up there. Fire Carter, though, will fall as Invictus gets that opening shot over onto the Echo. They do get the res off in time, so it's still a 5-on-5 as the cart continues to move under the underpass here. Looking at the other side, the Farmington Fisherman not having too much concern about that as of right now, as Invictus yet again trying to take down Fire Carter, and they will! Through the Mercy Beams, Invictus takes down the Flyers. No need to worry. I mean, I could do it, but it's somewhat personal broadcast potential. I'll do it again if he does it for a third time, alright? And you don't know what I'm talking about, but I will do it. But close to this high noon, the fly coming up to the bot, or the push, has finally stopped. The cart taking a bit of a respite. Right at the other side's underpass. Here's super down. As Invictus again on this off angle, been going crazy. With 3 kills, they will exchange, but the simply down to pick probably a little more valuable. As Frosty just barely manages to dodge out on that Orisa Javelin. Yoda refusing to give up the space on the hanger, but slides off the trajectory of the geometry of the wall. The cart has to continue to move backwards, though, and really no touchers from the Lumalees for a little bit. As Fire Carter does have a duplicate, though, potentially could open it up. Yoda in server room. Bit of a walkout here. Invictus has this angle here on the ground on Excavator. Still holding his shot. Looking to finally let that go. Cathect with the rally as well. Fire Carter in awkward position, forced to use a duplicate. And Invictus again is the one to open this up. Terror Surge out from Yoda. Slams it down and finds 2 if you include duplicate. And Simpadano used the Valkyrie and is retreating. And the entire time, the entire fight, the cart was moving backwards. Rolls on the other side of the underpass now. Really nothing to say here except for a stellar defense so far from the Farmington Fishermen. The Lumalees seem to have no answer for this one. Flawless, close to a blade, could open it up, especially with the rally being gone. But the Associate's got to worry about. He's got to worry about the jab, the spin, the hinder grenade. Just a lot of pressure upon this Genji here, but Invictus going down takes one of those equations. One of the very bottom of the equation for this grenade with his blade. And now the turret gone as well. The blade could be a fight changer here. Centurion, though, does have the Molten Core ready to go, but with Corey gone, Yoda, which is a very sad horse on point, trying to do anything here with the fortify with the spin. Does have jab. Just trying to punish out Flawless here. This horse, not long for this world, will finally evolve. See if any else be thrown out here by the Farmington Fisherman, but the blade out from Flawless. Finds one. And that might just be all he needs there, as point A has finally been opened up. A lot of ults being thrown, not too many ults being thrown out there, with just the blade being the one to open that up, and then Fish going down first. Yoda over onto the Doomfist. Don't know if that was a swap, potentially just a touch, or if that's actually what they're going to run out with here. I mean, Horus is very... He was pretty tough here, especially on this point, with this high ground control on the shuttle that Nathan has on the Winston. So Doomfist probably a little more displacement here. Try to knock him off this high ground. But Nathan's playing very slowly on top of the shuttle right now. The bot, or the cart, continues to move here. About halfway through point B, Yoda finally goes on for the contest. A lot of ultimate well-timed bubble stops that hinder grenade from going on through. Centurion with the Molten Core. See if they decide to use it. Might not need to. Invictus Uses the high noon to take down Simply Dino. Duplicate Doomfist though just punches right into a Tor turret. And not too much to do off on that one. Centurion whips out the hammer for a split second. But now, Frosty with the Casino Rush. That might just be point B. Despite how awful point A was for the attackers, point B seems to be quite the breeze. As Jess, the duplicate, and the Casino Rush invested there. Yes, the Farmington Fishermen giving them those points. And a lot of ults to go forward with here. They have the Primal, they have the Valkyrie. Walking into a rally potentially, but at the same time, Centurion still holding on his Molten Core, has had it for quite a while. Saving it for Overwatch 3, it appears. Very epic turret placement. Glad we caught that on production, but both teams are playing very slow here. We do have Firecarter eventually falling to the hope of the Molten Core, gets stuck in a small room, and now Nathan weak as well. Let's see if they can punish any of these stragglers. Nathan gets to jump back in to spawn. Simply Dino weak as well, but the TP from Frosty will be good enough. Simply Dino and Flawless might not get the same luxury. Looks like they will not, as they're sent back to spawn. And Paninii has joined us. He can join us after this next fight, you know, once he finally understands what's going on. It is 2-1 Fisherman right now. So this is the Lumalees map pick of Watch Point Gibraltar. Point A looked pretty good, and now on to point C. A lot of ults ready to pop here for the attacker, especially with the duplicate with the Primal Rage. Can go very aggressive. Simpidino with the Valkyrie. We'll see if Yoda's Terror Surge as well as Cathec's Rally can stop these aggressive plays, these aggressive ults if we get too much value. Centurion's turret falls. Nathan sees that as the go sign. And we'll find Invictus and punch that with the Primal Rage on top of that. Finds two. Nathan going crazy on the Winston. Gets Corey into a pretty bad position as well. Beats him into a corner and beats him into a pulp. As Nathan comes alive on Winston.
An incredibly cheap fight for the Lumalees too, just using the Valk and using the Primal. Still have this Blade, the Curie Rush, and this dupe. Probably could be last fight if they opt to, if they win this fight with all the ults they have.
Casino Rush comes out as well as the High Union on the back of it, but Centurion is the first to fall. We do have Flawless with the deflect. Not gonna find anything too much there. The Blade out from Flawless, dives on in. Finding Cathect, and now Duplicate Firecarter on the Orisa pushes the spawn doors. And despite a great hold on A, it appears the Farmington Fishermen are coming apart here at the seams. On point B and C. And the Lumalees are going to capture a pretty solid amount of time unless Centurion has a miracle on the Tracer. Not for long, Cathect with that Suzu will stay alive for just a couple more seconds, but Corey as well. Not long for this world, and just over a minute in the time bank is all the Lumalees need here on Watch Point Gibraltar. And they're going to cap.
Yeah, again, just going in with so much time and with such a huge ultimate advantage, that's really rough to recover from. A minute timing on Gibraltar is crazy. So like I always am just like, it's all about the time, it's all about the time. Gibraltar has a lot of really good defender side heavy points here. So just being able to identify where you want to defend at, just kill as much time there as possible. Like, it should be looking really good here for the Lumalees to be able to tie the series here.
Yeah, two Mat 5s in one night, huh? Sounds good. But we'll see if there's any swaps from the side of the Fishermen. They kind of ran that comp all the way through Esperanza, King's Row, and now it appears that they might kind of have an answer to it being the Lumalees. But it looks like they're kind of sticking with it. They're going to swap off the Orisa onto the Diva. If this sticks, it'd be different, but it could also just be a spawn troll. We'll see. But Yoda might be seeing, I'm just going to stop Nathan while this is Diva, and put more pressure on the Firecarter.
This makes a lot of sense. This is basically like, you're not going to divest comp. It's going to be hard for them to find the picks here, but they should be able to kind of prevent their backline from getting picked on as free. The Diva shuts down the Winston a lot. You have the Torb that should be able to survive and just put a lot of burst damage if he does get jumped on, and then you have Invictus just on that cast, has the Hinder, and just, again, still does a lot of damage front line.
You're also saying it's tough to find picks, but I know you've been busy in the other production. You've not seen Invictus so far this series. He looks to be back in his prime, finding headshot after headshot on his Cassidy, so he's the pick guy on this team.
Yeah, so it's going to be down to if the Lumalees can be just coordinated with these dives here, able to try to get picks before Invictus is able to kill their team.
Nathan dives on in with the help of the bubble. They do break down Centurion's turret, but the cart continues to move towards the underpass. They're keeping 3 on. They want this fight to be as quick as possible to get under this area. Nathan does dive in, but Yoda chasing him around. Can't quite get the punish, but does force him to play a bit slower than he probably wants here. Firecarter weak. Does get to fly out. But high ground kind of being taken right now by the side of Farmington Fisherman. His Brigide's up there as well. A lot of pressure that Lumalees really have no answer for right now. Nathan trying to bring that back, takes a space back for the squad, but falls low himself. They do get the Suzu out, but they do get the mech. A good exchange here for Farmington, or for the Lumalees. As the car continues to move onto the underpass and finally takes a break.
Yeah, and like the fact that they're just able to control this high ground so aggressively here, already burning off so much time here. And Victus uses the high noon, doesn't find any picks, but Flawless gets Centurion.
Flawless with 2. That's going to be a quick fight victory there for the Lumalees. They're going to stop the cart just in their side of the underpass. And it's going to start moving backwards here soon.
Yeah, the Lumalees just able to kind of draw that fight out too is really good for them. Again, just trying to kill as much time off first and second point as you can to set them up to hold third.
A very early window from Corey
yeah.
just to try to force some space back, force him away as Yoda goes up on the blue box right now. So the Lumalees just decide to not even touch that window. Flawless falling low, but Nathan jumps on in and has his proper race, can go very aggressive here in the back line. Gets out that Immortality field and now can go hard on supports back here. Tries to get Corey off the map and will do just that, but Invictus has found Fire Carter, so it's a 1-for-1 exchange. Centurion with the overload as well. Kath trying to bash away. It's very even on both sides right now. Well, Simply Dino going down. It's going to be pretty tough here.
Yoda might get caught out here. I think, yeah, he is able to get out with his life. So just a super messy fight. You get the Curie rush out from Frosty, but now Corey is swapping over to Matt the Curie of his own. A lot harder to get dove on here, but does provide a little bit less damage and a little bit less burst healing as the Baptiste does. A lot of ults again are getting built here for the Fishermen.
Invictus flying low, in fact flying to 0 as Frosty finds the headshot with the kunai. The rally just a little bit too late there from Cathect to keep the Cassidyans fight. Firecar's duplicate mech does fall low, but gets healed right back up, still has his right for the go. Yoda jumps up on the blue box, trying to force Flawless back, but doesn't look like they're going to do just that. As Corey trying to keep Tim alive from Water Tower, chucking down his kunai, chucking down those cards. But let's kind of wait for Invictus to get back here. Cathect does fall pretty low, and Nathan sees that and goes on in heavy aggressively. Cathect falls low, but the Suzu is there, but the Suzu being used means the blade is free. As Flawless unsheaths it, they do get Cathect.
Oh, the point! It's taking the point! They will be able to identify it, but Sent almost gets first point cap. Now we're down to a minute left, and it's still looking really good here for the Lumalees, but it is really, you can snowball Gibraltar really hard here, so it's still not over yet. A lot of ults are built here.
Oh, especially with that, and now the Ruds get stopped as well. Simply Down might get punished, just Simply Down trying to get out. Does hit a Valkyrie. Looks like they will get out of their lives. But look at all the space taken here by Centurion's C9 attempt. The Luma is forced to back up and get all of high ground. Now Invictus is basically a shooting range. It's Kovacs right now as Nathan and Yoda exchange here on the back lines. The Molten Cores block off the door, but Centurion falls mid-cast of that ultimate. Simply Dino, half HP gets this back to safety of the team. Fire Carter. The skies are now clear with those two being down in Yoda. I mean, Nathan is just going for the stats at this point.
He's fighting his demons right now.
He's going for the stats, baby. He's going to get his. Does he get Centurion? Oh!
Nathan literally was out of the fight for like 30 seconds just trying to kill Kath. Kath ends up getting the Mega and gets just so much rally healing, able to survive through the Winston dive. Does get out the Primal too. So Kath just able to kind of stay alive there. Puts his team in a position to be able to kind of run over the rest of the team.
And now,
again,
no ults here for the defense except for the duplicate. But they're walking into a self-destruct. So Yoda could go very aggressive, but Kath first to fall. Both supports down. A quick dive. Shuts that down.
Yeah,
Duplicate
used there too.
Yeah, the duplicate came out because they were falling pretty low, and Invictus hit the hinder grenade from way downtown. Bang. You know, Mike Brennan, NBA playoffs time, but... So you get the duplicate out for a fight, not too bad if you're Farmington, especially now that you have your high noon and your duplicate, and your bomb, as well as the rally. So huge ult advantage here for the attackers, but the higher ground is controlled by defense.
The shuttle control is just so oppressive on this point, so it's going to be really hard for them to kind of get the Lumalees off this high ground here. They do have a lot of ults here, so maybe they can look to open something up with the ults. Nathan jumps again onto Kath, forces Kath to drop, looking for more. Hinder comes out, gets Nathan. Nathan almost dies.
Oh, but the high noon for Invictus finds three! Three members down, the Suzu can't quite land in time, and Nathan too low to get away. The Peacemaker finds its shots, and that's going to be point B basically here for Farmington Fishermen. Lumalees might be sent for another attack here. It looks like they're going to try it. No, they can't get in time. And now they're in a really tough spot.
Primal. If Nathan got that Primal a little bit earlier, could have been able to stall that out, and with the Blade and then both support ults coming out, could have been good for them. But again, you're not even really playing to like hold them on second. You're playing to just prevent them from full capping here. And with all these ults, they should be in a pretty good position to do that.
Yoda's 1v3ing up here, and he's not winning that one.
Blade
Will
comes
fall,
out
and now
too.
the flawless with the blade.
Yep.
Is it 1-for-1? But if, again,
So
like I said, if you're
blade-
the Lumalees, you're taking this because you're just taking time off the bank, and now Firecarter gets res as well. You're in a great position to hold his defense for just a little bit longer. The time bank goes there in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure Nathan's not calling this, but it's really good to play this really aggressive hold here because you get about 3 more fights here.
Rally out from Kath. Casino Rush here from Corey. Excited to use what Frosty plays down there first. Nathan going aggressive with the Primal Rage on that one. Ice hits Kathak over on the side, but Yoda's the first to find a pick here over on the Flawless with the Genji gone. The Lumalees are retreating. Nathan used that Primal to just run away. The high unit out from Invictus side on trying to get some final minute stagger kills, trying to replicate what he got on point B there. Not quite as lucky that time.
Ults were 2 for 2 though, so it's still a pretty even trade. But now all this space is controlled here by the Fishermen. Not a lot of ults here. The duplicate's got to be really big here, going into the Curie Rush, the Torvald, and the Diva Bomb.
Casino Rush out from Corey here. Now the Molten on top of that one. Duplicate from Firecarter over onto the Diva, trying to build it towards that bomb. The Hinder Grenade does get eaten up here, but the Casino Rush is simply too much pressure here for the Diva. Firecarter walks in, gets the instant squish, the instant remake there as Yoda falls low. Yoda does have the bomb here. Centurion first to fall. The bomb might be huge, finds Firecarter. They cannot move 0.1 meters remaining.
The picks are just going to end up being there, I think, in favor of the Fishermen.
Oh, but Corey and
another one.
Invictus pop off. And just 33 seconds separate the two teams. And Gibraltar, point A is really tough to crack, so 33 seconds could be huge for the Lumalees.
Yeah, the problem with for the Lumalees is they were able to kind of play that aggressive fight on third point there, but they just weren't able to kind of take back that high ground. So they ended up giving them that corner high ground there on third point, which is just so good for the defense. And then ended up having to do like the final fight just outside of their spawn, which is a really bad position to be in for the defense. They played that really well just up until that very end there. But now we're back at pretty much an even map here, about a minute each, a slight advantage here for the Lumalees.
Lumalees, you basically get another fight. You get one more really quick
It doesn't
fight.
make much of a difference. As we saw in our I don't know if you were there for the circuit, but as we saw in the previous game, like even with a minute, you can do a whole lot of point push. In our previous game, we had a 6-5 circuit royale, so potentially even with just a minute, you could push pretty far.
I love Circuit Royale.
Yeah.
Yoda gonna start on the Diva yet again. We saw it kind of struggled a little bit on A, but
Flawless.
bruh,
Flawless had the Winton out.
I did not. Unfortunately, I did not see that.
Oh, it's the Winton.
Hey, EJ, if you're watching this back, put that in the highlights. Give us
That
the
highlights is the Winton.
Yeah. I mean, Yoda is just standing up here menacingly, using the DM to keep the space for the squad. Does fall to half and finally will drop.
Nathan can't look for his jump there. Yoda's just denying that space. Beautiful solo! Oh, Yoda's solo 1 HP.
It is building up quickly towards support ultimates, though, so it could be a big turning point
Yeah.
for the Fishermen, especially if they can keep him up in this mech. Yes, Corey halfway towards that. Flawless half. Ferocity half. A lot of damage being dealt here. Onto the Lumalees, and the cart moves under the... Yeah, Firecarter, 80% towards the duplicate. Will be the first one to have an ultimate in this fight. The cart continues to make progress, though. But that's going to be the duplicate built up here.
Probably looking for the Diva here again. I think he's copied the Diva at least twice so far.
See if I do that.
Casino Rush
But an
comes
early
out.
Casino Rush here. But Invictus first to fall on the high ground. Got split up from the squad. Casino Rush advantage here for Corey on the ground, but Firecar still has a duplicate. Kathek falls low, and duplicates over on the Brigitte. Now it's a Brig 1v1, and Firecarter's going to be the duplicate. He's going to have the advantage there. Rally very close. Pops in the second he gets it. But you get basically to the end of point A. You can't complain with only a minute left in time back, especially for Watchpoint Gibraltar. Very doable for the Farmington Fishermen, but also doable for the other side.
Yeah, it's really good defending here too, because you know exactly where the payload has to stop. So I don't know if they're gonna opt to contest the payload any earlier there. They might just wait until the payload gets to that like right outside of that box there. especially having Invictus, if you just have him playing these high grounds. As long as the Lumalees aren't able to kill Invictus really early, he should be able to do a lot of damage on this high ground here, especially if he gets like pocketed by his team here too. I'm expecting the exact same thing coming out from both teams here. I think they're both pretty satisfied with how that went.
Yeah, I mean, the only real difference I could possibly see is, yeah, of course, starting on the Kiriko this time rather than the Baptiste. That's really the only difference I can see.
Yeah.
I mean,
I honestly, if you're playing for the support ults, I would really like to see an Ana here. Like, especially for the Lumalees, like just playing an Ana and just having Nathan play the same way that Yoda played. Build your support ult charge,
Ooh.
you eventually get the nano in.
A wholesale comp swap, basically, if you're for the Farmington Fishermen. They're going to play the Orisa, with the Baptiste more of a brawl style here on a potentially.
This is another you can't dive us comp.
So you can't dive us comp. They're going to try to stay up here for as long as possibly can. But once the cart basically gets to underpass, they're going to play where they want you to come in, just to fight them underneath that little bridge area. Come into a Torbjorn, Orisa, and a Cassie as a Winston. Just have fun with that, Nathan. You're probably the best Winston in the league, but it's gonna be really tough here if the cart gets stopped. Oh, it gets pushed in as well. Punished for the dive. And Simply Dino's trying to get that res off, but I don't think they can.
There's no way. I don't know if Nathan knew that there was an Orisa when he jumped in, but
I mean, he had to. They jabbed the spawn doors.
Yeah.
But a great shot. That's basically your free fight if you're the Lumalees gone already. Losing Nathan like that. Nice.
Yeah, looks like the ult advantage is slightly in favor of the Lumalees, as Flawless is already halfway to this blade here.
Getting a lot of pressure, a lot of damage on the high ground. Nathan just jumping right back up there. It's like he never left. The card is contested for now. As Yoda sticks on his high ground. They do have a deflect forced out here. Nathan on to blue box. Fire Carter falls low. Fire Carter taken down. Simply Dino will try to get the res, but gets stopped with a javelin. And now the Genji's in a really awkward spot here. Floss, no deflect, no hope to get back to the team. Yoda stuck on the geometry yet again, the same spot. And now one fight territory, and Core close to window, Floss close to blade. It's just going to be between the picks here.
Yeah, one more fight here. Flawless is really close to this blade here. Could be really big, but Corey is going to have this window. Should be able to put a lot of damage and a lot of healing out. If Firecore is able to get this dupe, that could be the difference maker here.
Window comes out to try to stop the dive.
Everyone just LOSs it.
It will do just that.
Flawless falls so low here.
He's close to this blade, just has to play a bit slower here. But Yoda is going to attempt to get this Larissa off the cart. Oh, the jab lands! Comes the TP comes over. Flawless with a 2K blade! Flawless! The rally can't quite get the kill, but that might just be enough.
Fire Carter with the rally should be able to give the team enough sustain to live through this.
Centurion can't quite build the molten core, and Flawless with the hero blade. Might just says to map 5, Corey come back on loose as fast as possibly can, but they can't get the touch. And we're going to map 5.
Despite everything Invictus is trying, not enough. Really big play by Flawless.
Play of the game.
Oh, we gotta watch this. I didn't see his POV when this happened. I know we got a hinder off onto Nathan. Around the wall. I think it would have gotten 4 if Flawless didn't have the deflect up, too.
Yeah, now we're going all the way to map 5. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Aurora Overwatch Clash continues after this short break.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Week 2 matchup between the Lunar Lumalees and the Farmington Fishermen 2. We're going all the way to map 5, and it can't be any closer, really, between these two teams right now, Paninii. I know you didn't see the first couple maps, but just going off of that Gibraltar alone, you can see not much separates these two squads.
Yeah, one blade from Flawless ended up being the difference in winning and losing that for the Lumalees. We do see a completely different comp swap coming out for the Lumalees. I think you mentioned they ran this earlier. The Fire Carter tank with Nathan DPS, EJN support for Simply Dino. So it is a completely different look. It is a pretty similar look from both sides. The big difference here, I think the major difference here is going to be the Torb.
Yeah, I mean, Centurion's been locking it since the second map of the series of King's
yeah.
Row, and hasn't come to the difference makers we saw in Gibraltar. Didn't do too much and kind of led the team to loss, but the two maps they won would put in some serious work. And now it's a quote-unquote honest Orisa and Orisa mirror here going on Cervasa. I love Overwatch 2. The Cassidy is going up against the Sojourn here, so a lot more range here from Flawless, but a lot more, kind of damage over time here from Invictus. Laying his headshots, laying these blows.
Speed, I think, is going to be the big difference maker. Is EJ having the speed, not only do they get point first, but they also are going to kind of dictate the pace of these fights here.
Floss does spot out Invictus and tries to get onto him, but can't quite get the kill. Yoda doesn't get the touch before it flips. So Lewis build the percentage here for their squad, and now Yoda in a really tough spot here, alone on point, trying to do something to bring the team back. But Flawless is melting down this Orisa. Yoda falling very weak here. Immortality Field does come out, but taken down. Firecard, though, was the first to fall. So this Orisa down. Could be a huge Invictus with 2 Invictus yet again here.
Yeah, Fisherman should be able to take this. Again, like, you have the speed, so you can kind of dictate when these engages are, but the problem is they didn't really block in. So you have the Torb able to just kind of do so much damage over time, and just really no value gain from the speed from the Lucio for the Lumalees there.
Centurion has been pounding this turret like the whole time. Yeah. He hasn't taken down, so that's gone, but early window up from Corey is going to stop them in the tracks. They really can't engage on this. They can't use advantage of the Lucio. Yoda trying to get an early pick here, potentially around the corner, but Fire Carter is the only one who finds the Javelin. But again, right now, it's very tough to try to walk into them. They're playing so far away that by the time you get to them, the Centurion damage with the Torb turret, as well as Invictus popping your head, might be too much to handle. Hinder Grenade gets chucked in from way downtown. Fire Carter here with that Terror Surge, so they decide to use that, but Frosty with the Kustina Rush tries to move on in. Yoda with the Terror Surge does force out the beat here from EJ. Nothing really in response for the Farmington Fishermen as Yoda falls. It appears the ultimates here for the Lumalees were just too much to handle. As is last fight territory, though, for point 1, and Fisherman will be back in time for another touch.
Yeah, I think the support ults coming out for the Lumalees are a little bit better. The Katsina Rush and the Beat are both super impactful ults. The window used a little early from Corey just doesn't really get any value as the Lumalees just waited out. The rally is going to be here, but again, I don't think that's another huge ult. Like, maybe it'll give a little bit more sustain through this blade Nathan has, but other than that, it doesn't do a whole lot right now, especially in the state it's in. Invictus could get another really big high noon here. He's been doing so much so far here in the series, but...
There we go, one last second contest here. The blade in the back line here, as well as a Terror Surge on top of it. Too much damage for Immortality Field to handle. And really just a desperation contest here. And 3 ults having to go all the way to point 2 for the Fishermen. Not how Coach drew it up, as Nathan and Fire Carter combined for a huge ult combo.
Yeah, like, you used 2 ults to 1, so you should be expected to win that fight. I'm kind of surprised that there were no other ults used for the Fishermen to try to secure that fight win. But there is still a lot left to play, and now they do have a pretty big ult advantage here with both DPS ults and this window. So Synth with this core should be able to kind of isolate everyone away, but Flawless should be able to do a lot of damage from range with this overclock here.
And Kath does make the swap onto Lucio. They'll just walk Yoda forward here. Here's a kind of know where they're coming from, but Yoda just clears them off high ground there with the jab spin. Invictus in the main area, trying to get a bit of an angle. On anyone gets taken on down. Fire Carter falls extremely low, but Floss dives on in with the overclock, which jumps into the entire enemy team. Playing very split right now, and it appears the Farmington Fishermen got this point pretty decisively. They did use all else to do that, though.
Yeah, they did use all 3 of the ults they had. The only one that's going to be available for next fight is this Terror Surge, which isn't a huge ult, but it could still be big, especially if they opt to push in those close corners again. Like I mentioned, this with flawlessly having the overclock, should be able to do a lot of damage from range. Does not take advantage of that.
Decides to play Reinhardt range with his overclock.
Range. But yeah, we have both support ults. Again, the support ults coming out for the Lumalees could be really big here. Firecard close to a Terra Surge of his own. So huge ult advantage here for the Lumalees. And then they opt to play in this tiny room here.
Looking for it here. They had the beat as well. Terra Surge comes out from Yoda Centurion, volume very low, and taken on down. Both DPS for the Fisherman taken out of the fight, and that might just do it. Both support ults good enough to crack this point right open for Lumalees, and just like last time, they take the point second, but this time, look, same thing as last. They want to hold on to it for 100%, but it's last fight territory here. But again, the ult's coming up for Lumalees.
Yeah, who would have thought the team that uses more ults wins the fight? Both support ults are used for the Terra Surge, so way more expensive for the Lumalees, but do end up taking the point here. If they opt to use it, they do have that combo again of the Blade and the Terra Surge coming out for the Lumalees, which could be really good, but 3 ults coming out on the side of the Fisherman too. This beat, if Cav gets it in time, could be really big to keep everyone alive through the Blade.
Oh, and Floss falls first!
Early.
See if they decide to push that advantage. Looks like they will, but going through the other side with the window on top of that. A good rotation calling out here. The Hinder Grenade will land, but Invictus is punished! And with the Immortality Field down, Nathan might look for this Blade, but kept that 9% away towards this beat. They just get one more amp peel off. It could be good enough, but Centurion with the Molten Core might have laid that down first. Yes, here comes the Molten Core, but it's getting eaten by Fire Carter. Centurion falling low. Goes on Cathect, cannot build the beat in time, 99%. They will have one more fight here, but they still hold on to this Blade. They still have the Casino Rush. They have 5 ults here for Lumalees. And this could be disastrous for the Fishermen.
Yeah, using the window and using the core are really rough. Also, Invictus swapping over to this Sojourn does reset the ult charge here too. 5 ults for the Lumalees. They didn't have to use a single ult to win that fight. And they're looking at potentially the last fight for the second point here. A 2-0 advantage on Flashpoint is just absolutely huge. So especially if they play really aggressive with their ults, they could opt to secure the point here.
I'm guessing Fire Carter's going low for a Terra Surge.
The Terra Surge could keep everyone off.
Okay, can't touch!
Casino Rush is used even after the fight. The point already flips, but I honestly don't hate that considering how many ults they had, and they do win the fight off of that. So that's all honestly pretty good.
And you also reset Cathect and Yoda back to spawn.
Yep.
So you're gonna get the first positioning here on the 3rd points. Match point.
Ajax, did the beat connect with anyone, or was that just the beat was too early?
I believe it did land. It did hit, but they just couldn't get the point in time.
Oh, they just didn't touch. Yeah. Kath goes onto the Moira. I gotta admit, I do not like the support line at all.
I also don't like it very much.
Other than the lamp, there's like no utility at all. Oh, the Terra Surge could be huge here. Firefighter's looking for it. Everyone's all stacked together. Blade still available here for Nathan.
They find Frosty first though, so Suzu's gone, but the Blade out from Nathan goes on in. Onto Invictus, takes him on down. Cathect spot out as well. 2 for the Blade for Nathan. Very even fight. The point flips it yet again first here for Farmington, but Nathan comes in with 3. And now it's just Yoda trying to stay alive as long as possibly can. Get a little more percentage here for the Farmington Fisherman and Centurion for the last second contest, but Nathan with the 5K.
Yeah, both teams used a lot of ults there. The Terra Surge and the Blade were used for, and the Beat were used for the Lumalees. So really expensive fight. Able to flip that though, and able to kind of take this positioning here. Invictus has this overclock, which is a huge ult. Flawless has one to answer of his own, but other than that, the Lumalees don't have a lot of ultimates here. So we'll see, especially with this the heals, it's going to be really tough to kind of like kite any aggression that the Lumalees end up showing towards you.
Invictus does find that body shot around Nathan, forced to Genji away for just a couple seconds here, but the window from Corey comes on out. A lot of pressure for Invictus to shoot on through. EJ does get around the Quiller in time to dodge all that damage from coming on through. And now Lumalees prepping for a huge contest here, but they do get the point flip here for Farmington. Flawless still holding on his overclock. Frosty as well. Both overclocks are exchanged. Casino Rush as well. On top of this, deflect comes out from Nathan. Keeps himself alive for just a couple more seconds, but doesn't matter. If you stay in the fire for too long, you're going to get burned.
Invictus, 1 HP gets taken down by Flawless.
Frosty did fall low, but Flawless with 2. Centurion has the Molten Core on point. Corey takes himself out. How does that happen as Corey decided to do a reset? And despite that, I mean, the point did flip at the beginning of that fight, so they get a free 35% or so of Farmington. It's last fight territory for either side. And Corey swaps over on the Kiriko. It's desperation time.
the window, the core, and the overclock all used from the fisherman. Really tough to use all those ults and lose the fight. The ults they have left aren't really that great either. EJ with the blade and Nathan coming up with this, or Nathan with the blade and EJ with this beat could be really big here in this fight, especially potentially looking at last fight if the Lumalees do manage to win this point here.
They will have the Coalescence though to back them up as they go towards the point. Terra Surge, the beat, the Suzu. Do not want to fall to the Terra Surge. Cathec's Coalescence does expire, and no picks going either way, but Centurion punished into a corner. And with the Torbjorn gone, Nathan decides now it's time to whip out the blade, unsheath the dragon.
Looks for Invictus. Invictus slides in trying to get something, doesn't get anything. We're the only one left alive. Will get taken down, and with that, after such a close series, a 3-0 on Flashpoint to give the Lumalees the win.
A very close match up until that last map when the Lumalees locked in GIF. They decided to go crazy. And again, this roster they ran with on control with no dying performance like we saw on map 1. Looks like that might just be what they need. And now we have to decide a match MVP. Of course, you came in a little late, but I want to hear your opinion. You know, you saw 2 maps. Got any ideas?
I don't know. Everyone played so well. The ones that I saw, at least, everyone played so well. I think Fire Carter put a ton of pressure in on that last point, the last map especially, but also Nathan able to get a lot of value with the blades and able to get a lot of value with the Winston on Gibraltar. So I would say one of the 2 of them, but again, you saw a lot more of it than I did, so it's kind of hard to tell.
I'll probably go ahead and I'll say Fire Carter. It's very close between him and Nathan, but yeah, we'll give the new blood some time to shine. You know, Nathan's got plenty of match MVPs in his time here, so we'll go ahead and bring Fire Carter in for a quick interview. Why can't I move him?
Oh no, I'm just looking at the out of div right now. It's 5-1.
Oh shit. Moved to the wrong one. And there he is, our match MVP. Congratulations on the victory and the MVP. Initial thoughts on the dub?
My initial thought is this is the first time happening to me, and it was unexpected. No, I mean, initial thoughts. We had a really clean map 1, but maps 2 and 3 we floundered a little bit, but I think we found ourselves on map 4 again, and then map 5 it was over from there. I really, I love. I was really proud with how we were able to work through it because we were going a little slower towards the start of map 4, but once we started to get it going again, we got it really going.
Paninii?
So you guys have the different comps you ran. Is there a reason you make those swaps, or is it just kind of like map dependent? Who wants to play tank? Who wants to play DPS?
In general, I think well, Nathan's our resident monkey player, so we like having him on tank on dive maps. And I'm also like, I'm not an Echo one trick, but I think Echo's probably my best DPS. So I like playing her on dive maps as well. So that really works out for us on like Watchpoint Gibraltar. And then I think and then we just play me and Orisa whenever Nathan can't be on tank, and I like to think it works out pretty well for us.
And yeah, before we ask El Classic, I'll go ahead and ask, how does it feel to play Echo into Invictus with hitting shots like that today? My man, he came kind of alive there, especially at the later maps, but just wonder if there's any like adaptations you guys had to do, you know, how well Invictus was playing on Cassie especially.
I think personally, my issue was I knew he was threatening, so I was focused on him a little bit too hard, and I realized I needed to. We started diving somebody else as a team, and then he would end up thinking he's safe in his positioning, and then I could churn on him and then kill him then. And I think the main thing that I was doing it is I was thinking I was egoing him too hard at the start. Meanwhile, he's very good, and obviously at the start of Watchpoint Gibraltar, I died twice to him. I died to him. I got rezzed. I died to him again, and I said, "This man just doesn't miss a shot. I can't do that. We got to find a way to play around him."
All right, Paninii, you can go ahead and take El Clasico.
No, I got one more question before El
okay.
Clasico. you guys just made a trade pretty recently too for Simply Dino for Paige. How does did you have to make any last second adaptations going into this to play with Simply Dino, or how exactly were you guys feeling going into that, coming from that trade? Did you make any changes or anything?
Oh, I don't know about as a team, but I'm relatively new to Aurora, so I don't know a lot of these players. And so obviously, when we're making a trade, I don't know what the new player is going to be like, but I think that wasn't really an issue. I think Simply Dino was fit into the team very well. And I don't know, we were just able to keep doing what we were doing.
All right.
That's really it.
And before we send you on your way, you are new to Aurora. This is your first match MVP, but you got to listen to El Clasico. If you could not get MVP for this match, who would you give it to on your team and why?
Oh, I think it's Nathan. Solely for the reason that he had to play Winston into that for 2 maps. Because I know personally that's quite difficult, and I think he did very well. He got some big primals out there. He was making a lot of space. I think if we had a marginally worse tank, we would have had a much worse time in this match.
All right, well, that's going to do for us on the interview. Again, congratulations. We'll send you on your way to go celebrate your team. Congrats on the dub, 2-0 to start the season, and best luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for us here at Aurora Esports MN2, because we already had the other game going on today. That's 2 Map 5s, Paninii, between both me and you. So, very exciting night of Aurora Esports, and now we're going to week 3, which I need to check when the matches are to be scheduled between May 4th and May 10th. So I believe that's just because of some final stuff. We try to be considerate. Yeah. So might be a little quiet from us here on the side of Aurora for a little bit, but stay tuned to our souls, stay tuned to our Discord to find out what the next match will be. And until that happens, stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great rest of your year, buddy.